time.
4, 3, go!
I'm gone. I am totally gone. I'm so gone, I'm not even going to invite you in. This is our house. We make it every week. I wrote this the second day of my vacation, as I wrote it on my iPhone, which shows you how important it was that I just write it. I could not get to my old-style computer. I was shaking and quaking and baking. And so I knew as I typed it with shaky fingers that it meant something, and now I'm all uptight and nervous about it. It's probably that shitty, but probably essential that I do it. Through fire, through stone, drowned in water, scattered on the wind. I say no, then yes, then I'm sorry, then love, then again back, then again myself. Forbidding the recurrence of depravity, which I define as that which takes me even 1 inch, 1 iota, 1 bit, 1 inch, 1 bit, 1 iota, 1 inch, 1 bit, 1 iota, that makes me forget, makes me lazy, makes me miss that which I am. Original fire stoking all night long, original fire stoking all night long, blazing fury all night long. Never remorse, never sorrow, never to be removed from all that I am, all that I am, all that I am, all that I have, that I am, that I am, that I cherish, that I believe, that defines me. Here now, hey now, whoa now, here now, hey now, whoa now, look out, will never again. Never bargain, never bargained, never bargained with or for, bought, sold, discounted, dismissed, all that I am here now, look now, in touch with passion, me now, here now, look out, will not be swayed, will gather fuel to stoke the original and pure fire that I am. Know it by my actions, by my sound, by my right, after all these years, to be it, to do it, my duty, my desire, my better than dreamed, my real, true self at once so bursting. Call me me, or do not call me. I don't know. There's me in there somewhere. You'll have to figure out which part of that it is. So what do we got? Poetry. When do we got it? Now. All right. That's some foxy, loxy poets out there. Has everyone signed up who wants to sign up? All right. All right. All right. All right. Here is a new voice. Have you read here before?
Yeah, third time.
Oh, you have? Have I seen you before?
You had. This will be the first time.
Really? Uh-oh, I don't like that. I'm definitely on the flip side of this deal. Always something new. All right, get up there. This is Ryan. I've never seen him, but you have.
Hey, Ryan.
And I got this fancy new watch to time you all with, so no one doubt my reality about that. Oh, there we go.
Woo!
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I wholeheartedly approve of that.
That's super cool.
So no math, no supermodels. I was.
No preface. Go for it. Give me your phone, man. I don't take no preface.
I just wanted to thank Brian from last week.
No.
He inspired this.
Go.
All right. This won't be pleasant. This is my anxiety. It's a tingle, like an itch, from my shoulder blades down to the tips of my fingers and then back. It reverberates in my chest, and then my stomach clenches, and then my head swims. I remember to breathe. There's a briefest relaxation and the coming of hope. But the hope is merely passing through, on its way elsewhere. I don't know where. I've forgotten what I'm doing, where I'm going. Another breath, and I focus. My back shivers, spilling chills down my arms to linger beneath my fingernails. I clench my fist, stilling the quiver, feeling my heartbeat spike. A thought floats right to the surface. I'm sure that's what's bothering me. My girlfriend is going to break up with me tonight. All the evidence I can focus on makes that all too clear. I drop, plunge into icy depression before I can hold tight. My chest collapses. I gasp, catching a breath that never actually tried to escape. I'm just sitting here. I remind myself, anxiety, depression, they lie. She's not going to break up with you out of the blue. That's your anxiety producing anxious thoughts. It's not real. I calm. The knot in my chest doesn't dissipate. Now it lingers, detached from reason, floating without a way to conceptualize it. Is that better or worse? What was I doing? I need something to distract me. Some music, maybe. Part of my conscious mind is buzzing, and it itches like my palms. How am I going to kill myself? You have those pills. Will taking them all work? Click over to WebMD. It doesn't seem like it. They'll just make me sick. I have my fallback. Yeah, a good old-fashioned. What the hell? I don't want to kill myself. Unbidden, horrible options surface. Start processing. It takes me a minute to realize what I'm even thinking about. I have to force the thoughts away. Why do they fit so comfortably? Deep breath. Where was I? How long until my next student? It's only been 5 minutes. I have another 25 minutes of this. I'm so exhausted from just sitting here. There goes any hope of a productive evening. I rub my fingers on my palms, trying to get rid of the itch.
All right. Well, you know, as unfond as I am of "Should I Kill Myself" poems, I was fond of that one because I think it ushered in that spirit of what I was trying to say. Which is always, you know, the real poem there. I think what I was trying to say is, I think we've got a very good thing here. We might want to seriously flex our muscles and use it. Just coming from someone who's been doing this for 25 years, we might want to use our resource here. You know what I'm talking about. Very nice use of the resource line. I could have taken even more truth. Because we respect her truth here. Come on up, Mom.
You know, you're talking about resources.
Yeah.
I need a light. I don't.
A what?
A light.
A light?
I don't have
A light to see?
I don't have like a phone.
Oh, yes. Well, let's work this out. Yeah, and you need to see that, don't you? Yeah, I could be, I don't want to humpjack your scene though and hold a light over you. We don't have any of these work lights. I've got a flashlight on my phone. I'd be happy to.
I don't need to.
You come down. Come down. Go find your light. This is the primary rule of stage is find your light, and we will move to you.
I won't see you on.
Doesn't really matter, does it, Karen? We've just found her light. Look at her. Nice. She's all over that light. Oh, we got a light up there now. Do you like it down here? Up there? All right, do it here. That's your spot.
Do it here.
That's your spot. You own that.
Okay. Okay, first one. You are lodged in my throat. You are stuck in my throat as a jagged bone jams against the opening of the poor dog's throat, cutting off her air. I cannot dislodge the lump that is you. At night I wake, wheezing and sucking in, dreaming I am choking on thick, tepid oatmeal, which binds my lungs and windpipe and hardens into a thick, sticky glob that I claw at with a bent finger to release the rage. Except you are too far down and I have pushed you deeper still. There will be no release by my stunted hands. Instead, I gag and cough and seethe and stuff and stuff and stuff until just enough space is made for shallow breathing and to allow sufficient room for you to creep slowly, almost imperceptibly, back up from my heart to curl up in a sodden ball and lodge in my throat once again.
Woo! I didn't know how to feel there.
Cush. I come to these poetry readings to prick my aliveness like a rubber band snapped against the wrist reminds. I slide into the Papasan chair, which I realize too late will be hard to get out of. Through bifocals, I get pleasure from this room soaked in youthful vigor, even in the unyoung. Wild hair perches atop the clothes of rebellion. Languid smoke strolls in from outdoor picnic tables, compressing the room, cigarette and herbal sweet. Heads tilt back in the secret laughter of the high, camaraderie with inclusive sideways glances and exuberant high fives and hugs. You read and chant and recite and improvise, crackling with rhythm. I stand to read, self-reduced to the feeling of fluffiness, designated driver poet, middle-aged and middle class. My soul yearns to make obvious the torture it once most often felt. My angst, now so reduced by the miles I have lived, begs to again bubble up to be revealed in smothering anguish. But my softly simmering torment cannot help itself. It is simply now more personal than global. I don't want to slip out of the wild strength of threaded knots creativity collectively creates. I yearn for, even require, your strands to weave into my cloth. Yet I know this too, my truth has changed, altered by love and longevity. The furious fire which scorched before is now tampered down to burn more steadily hot within. Consider this, if every song was sadness, if every book memoir, who would listen and who would read? I know my voice, it cries out just the same as yours, quieter, I suppose, but no less fervent. Hear my story, know that I have lived through much of what you now create. It's not bad or wrong to arrive at this place where being heard by others, though so lovely and freeing, for me just no longer be a suitable substitute for being heard, the loudest still by me.
Very, 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 very nice. That was a Cush poem, which we encourage if you feel it. And it was a very good one if you were listening up and dug that. That was real. Didn't see that one coming. Nice job, huh? That was actually very powerful in its quiet, bubbling way. Right? Because a lot of us know that that is a form of real potent strength. Because we've been on the other side of it too. Celine. Yes. Lots of girl-type poets. Lots of them. What does she have for us this week? Now it's way too bright up here. I feel like I'm a bug in a museum. Yeah. I know, right? Oh, go ahead, try. No deal. Oh, that was fun.
Get high for me.
Get her down here into the gums. I am what I am. I know. Vacation makes him so weird. He comes back so weird from vacation. He don't gives a shit. Go.
Alrighty. What could be? Mother Nature cries from her body being pillaged. Her waters have been ruined by oil oozing in, by atomic waste seeping in, and trash randomly thrown in. Her sea animals are becoming distinct by the day. The graceful dolphins dying by the hundreds floating onto her shores. Her trees being slaughtered by machines. Her hills become covered with stumps. Her creatures of the woods have nowhere to thrive. The glaciers disappear by the seconds. There is no reversal for the ice melting. Mother Nature fights back with hurricanes, floods, earthquakes, tsunamis, and tornadoes. Humans continue to be sheep and follow what they are taught. Most live for their own means with no care of the future of her planet. Mother Nature's secret is she will win in the end. Humanity will bring itself to the brink of extinction and push themselves to non-existence. She will be alone spinning in space, free.
All right.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I compare myself to the ideal model types. I wish for a shape that goes along with what society believes is beautiful. I loathe myself for not fitting into these stereotypes. The years have flown by and I find myself a middle-aged woman. Looking in the mirror, I notice frown wrinkles near my lips, worry wrinkles between my eyes, and laugh lines near my eyes. Age spots are appearing randomly across my youthful hands. My womb is not able to bear any more children. As a woman, I think and ponder on such things. Men age and they are called distinguished. They leave their wives for a woman much younger than them, and this is accepted. Women my age are called ma'am by younger men, and they turn their eyes away and look towards younger women. Sometimes becoming a nun appeals to me at this point in my life. At least then I wouldn't worry about finding a man or becoming an old crone. Self-acceptance becomes a challenge after 40. Now that I think about it, for me, my spirit is ageless, and for that, it gives me hope. My wisdom I have collected over the years outnumbers the wrinkles and age spots. I have an open mind and a youthful perspective. There are always two sides to a human. I think perhaps a nun's life is not for me. Perhaps I can become a cougar.
Oh, shit, that's right. Run, Andrew. You're about to pray, Rain.
That just happened.
One of a kind. Each one of us is a unique light. We are like snowflakes. Within our DNA strands, we are encoded with fragile fractals of information. Inside of us is contained the Akashic records, the knowledge of everything. Between wake and dreams, we dance a fine line, filled with light particles condensed to make us an image of the universe. We can choose to be in fear or choose to be in love. Dancing the fine line, we attract positive when we shine with unconditional love. Fear diminishes when we let go of darkness and turn towards the connection to the God we are and are a part of.
All right. Been noodling over there how to go about this in this day and age. You'll agree with me, this is a tricky one. I find the female poets at Cush to be all sexy women.
Except for me.
You are too.
No, I'm not. Love you.
Okay, then you're not.
I'm not sexy.
Really?
No.
Why?
I'm an android.
An android. Really?
Dude, androids are sexy.
You're smiling. Yeah, you better. Sexy is a sexy, duh. Yeah. I know, right? How do you talk about that shit these days? You can't.
Just like that.
You can't. I mean, you're all so gorgeous. Come on, Andrew. Get up.
Is it the okay?
Yeah, it is.
Come on, Jordan.
Come on, cougar meat. Get up here, cougar meat. It's feeding time. All right, Cush. No, I'm not even ready. You better be good.
It will be. I promise. Hey! So I have poison oak all over my face.
Yeah,
It should work as cougar repellent, I think. But
All right, now we're using the resource.
But you know, I decided to come anyways because I thought that
That's
it
right.
would go well with this poem.
You're just
This
beautiful.
is dedicated to James. It like steps outside of my regular style, and it's
Oh,
channeling
thank
the ghost of James's creepy style. This is called The Adventures of Life Worth Living Man in the Bathroom, Part 1. Life worth living man awakened suddenly, screwed on time to recollect his dreams as he often does for inspection and interrogation purposes. But instead, this particular morning, he rushes urgently to the toilet to release last night's liquor. From his bladder, of course. Well, that and his bowels as he discovers he's taking one hot fireball whiskey shit.
That's so nice.
Fuck, he thinks to himself, I'm all out of baby wipes. I'm gonna have to take a shower or something after this wet, noxious crap that smells to low, spicy hell, so he quickly hops in the hot shower and spends just enough time to meticulously de-cling any brown Klingon ass invaders that wouldn't listen to the power of dry toilet paper. This is what it's all about! Life worth living man thinks to himself, and imagines a sweat-ridden adolescent Jesus Christ on the back roads of Galilee, squatting behind some small desert hill in the blazing heat of Israel, to pass into the draught some bacon he knew he shouldn't have tried. Now Father's punishment stings like a bitch in the hot sun with no toilet paper, and life worth living man thinks this is a trial he'll recuperate from soon enough. Just may need to do a little penguin walk a ways out the door or something. He steps out the shower and finds himself in front of himself in the mirror with intentions to brush his teeth, but gets lost in the data of his own face. He wonders if anyone who's been right next to him ever sees into his deep, cavernous pores from close up. In each of those microscopic flesh valleys could be a bastion of rebel beings, fists upraised at the injustice of their futile existence each time he takes a shower. From the look of them, he thinks, leaning in close, he's nearly kissing the mirror, they seem to be planning anarchy. That would explain a lot. Who is he anyway, so bourgeois in his post-scientific era worldview, to have knowledge of the smaller beings and make the single consistent habit of his entire life the genocidal slaughter of such helpless proletariat? He makes a worthy, itchy habitat for, which, like Hitler cleansing Germany of Jews, he chooses to annihilate and not even bat an eye. As they scream and die down the drain, he knows he feels refreshed by his own insensitive cruelty. Oh well, he thinks to himself, it's my will to power, and they can have me when I'm dead. Kindergarten melodies rapturously capture the voracious, voluptuous mind trap of his awareness, with blind affirmations of his bursting beauty just the way he is, and he thinks no one really believes any of that bullshit. If they did, they would neither look to what they will be nor what they ever were for comparison. They would fancy themselves poems making poems that will inspire more poems, but life worth living man knows nice homes are often tomes of drones, basically tombs, where muses lay angst and wonder down to rest together, tied and roped themselves to Justin Bieber, or 401k, allegiance to some shitty job, peace, the price of never standing up for anything, or even just a bond to one more human being who fits in with what the world expected of them a little too much. It's all the same, and regurgitating rhetoric floating in the air is what these fools get off on. He hears a sudden then prolonged eking sound emitting from the hinges of the bathroom door, or the ever-party guest-friendly mind trap he has, but he can't tell which. If it's the hinges of the bathroom door, then chances are that his aunt didn't hear him come home and is in for a big surprise again. If not, then it could be Martin Luther, Anton LaVey, Robin Williams, Aristotle, the Titans, Adam Sandler, Constantine, Barney the Purple Dinosaur, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Noam Chomsky, Karl Marx, Neo, a.k.a. Mr. Anderson, the devil and his angels, his dead grandma, or any of the other regulars he does coffee sit-downs with. He tries to get some of these guys to all hang out at once, but some diversity is just too much for folks, so he settles with his own panoramic procession of individual representations of big ideas with strong conviction that other people should envy this or get off their mental ass and do the same. The door inches open, certainly, and as the dark hallway outside is illumined by the bathroom light, just above the mirror, he inspects the bearded silhouettes earnestly to quickly ascertain his identity. Plato enters his bathroom, somewhat seductively, holding his weighing in one hand and the symposium in the other. From the looks of his form, he appears to be partially hard. Either that or his dick always looks half-masked and gorged with blood and thick protruding pulsing veins. He says he has something to teach him about the nature of beauty, but it'll cost him, and he may need to take another shower. Let me think about it while I brush my teeth, Life Worth Living Man replies and decides to take an extra long time doing so. All the better, Plato says, with a creepy, pederastic smile. I'll be awaiting your decision. Thanks, James.
That was so bad. That was so bad, I'm going to mock you in public for it. Here's why. Here's why that failed at, what was the title of that, Andrew?
The Adventures of Life Worth Living Man in the Bathroom, Part 1.
Done in what, the style of James?
Well, trying to attempt the style of
Trying to attempt. You forgot the thing about James that is so fucking scary, which is that he takes delight in the reality of the penguin offering him a purple popsicle, but there's toast crumbs on the base of it, and the toast crumbs are obviously my demise.
I'm tired of that penguin doing that to me.
That penguin with that purple popsicle is editing my work with a yellow Sharpie.
I wanted a blue popsicle.
And I wanted a blue one. Yeah. Anyway. Andrew. I kid because, yeah.
You can dig it.
Yeah, I can dig it. Yeah. I don't like saying that stuff, but that's Now, why is he doing that? Why is he making sense? He's dragging it out too. He's looking right at him. He's avoiding him. James! Oh my God! James is up. What? Oh, now James is irrelevant. Boo!
James is never irrelevant.
What's going on here, James? You're looking mighty sharp today.
These are pretty sharp.
Are you going to do Andrew?
No.
I think you should.
Oh, I didn't
You
want to.
should.
I think you should.
Okay.
It'd be like
this
about
is-
God and shit.
Alright, this is the closest thing. Okay, in that case, I'll do the closest thing that's.
I'll give you extra time to do Andrew since he humped your thing. You can hump his.
This one's actually kind of short. That's funny.
To you,
Read it.
who can see yourself in the reflection of my blue, dreamy eyes, I want you to know that that noise you just heard wasn't my illegitimate brother chained up beneath the house. It wasn't him slamming himself against the wall trying to get out. Before you put your hand any closer to my thigh, you should know that screeching noise is just the neighbors. It's not because of the full moon, and it certainly didn't come from the basement. I would prove it, but we were kinda getting busy. Hold on though, I have to turn the stove off. And that certainly doesn't mean I have to throw a plastic bucket down the stairs to that guy who definitely doesn't live down there. And certainly doesn't break free every other full moon. I mean, I would tell you if that were the case. It wouldn't be one of those awkward turn your head and top type things, I swear. So go ahead, muffle my words with those luscious lips.
Oh my God.
Just pay no attention to that shadow that might have been a person, but was definitely a tree, that only looked like a person holding an axe. Okay, so go ahead right now. Just take that stupid anxiety and bury it in the backyard. However, that dirt scraping around sound you're hearing is probably a generator, and not the guy who definitely isn't in my basement, trying to resurrect my childhood dog, Sparkles. I swear I'm telling the truth. And that laughter was just the TV. It's my neighbor's TV. I swear to all the offending gods. It isn't some stalker who has been waiting for me to meet a nice girl like you so that he might take her away. No, really. Stop trembling. It's okay. Everything's fine. The power goes out all the time on the full moon when it's not raining. Honestly, those footsteps are probably just the handyman showing up as needed at like 1:30 in the morning on a Saturday in the middle of nowhere. We're fine. It's probably just my parents. Well, I mean, that's not cool, but they did die recently. They did divorce recently, and they do like to pop by when the power's out to see that I am not premarital sexting it all over their estate. Don't look at me like that. I'm serious. They're pious people, and they don't want us to go to hell. But don't worry, it's not them. Let me hold your hand, and we can just lay down and enjoy this time we have together. But pay no attention to the misguided naked man with the chainsaw. I swear he's just some eccentric neighbor who just wants to borrow some gasoline to cut down a Christmas tree. He's no threat. Everything's all right. So I'm going to turn the lights on. Oh, yeah, that's right. The power's out. Good thing we have each other. I can't bear to think how lonely I'd be without you. Seriously, though, people are bothering me all day and all night, so it wouldn't matter. Okay, fine. I submit. I have been lying this whole time. All that stuff that I told you, well, I was lying. It's actually happening. It's bad, it's weird, and gross, and whatever. I thought you were different. And that is the worst imitation of Andrew I've ever done.
You need to do a real imitation of me, man.
Well, Plato said down with Aristophanes and man, they were tripping balls out on mushrooms, man.
Not quite, kid.
Oh, you want me to really try? I couldn't triangulate the particulars of philosophy sharp enough to imitate you.
I'll take it as a compliment.
I don't know enough about that jive. I know a lot about poetry, though. You should talk to me about esoteric poets from the 20th century. I can go on about Bob Kaufman, blah, blah, blah.
Do it.
Yeah, we'll have poetry off sometime. Hashtag Kevin. What? Everyone's job is to bring up one esoteric performance poet from the 20th century. The funkier, the better. You bring up the most esoteric, I'll give you $5. If you can beat me with one I don't know about who's in a book somewhere, I'll give you $5. $5 for an esoteric, legitimate poet from the 20th century who preferred spoken word over written word.
Is Googling disallowed?
I don't give a shit where you find him. I dare you to Google that. I dare you. That's how confident I am in my ability. That's called a challenge. Come on, Kevin.
Ponder this. An outlier's power. All right. Peyote, the backstory.
All right.
Sister Sarah berated me, but that didn't stop me. I confronted a senior priest with 5-year-old bravado. Yo, Father, what did God do for fun before the beginning? He had a conniption fit and I ran away. Today, I know what was before the beginning. Another beginning. An infinite number of beginnings. Hashtag. An infinite void is a very big place to fill up. So, what keeps it running? Dark energy. All the infinite cycles of the universe, the dark energy flows. Here too, in this room. Gravity in dark matter holds it down. Balance. Magnetism is the avenue of action. Right this moment, magnetism is growing through every one of us from the South Pole to the North Pole. It's been, that's just the way it is. And I contend that that's the avenue of action. With all that energy, power flowing by, how do I access it? Purity is one way. My stories are proof of that. Doing the right thing for someone without expectation is another. Listen, observe, and serve all my life. It's my game as an outlier. I've made so many deposits in the good guy bank that when shit happens, I cover it up so it just isn't anymore. The yin and yang balance of it all kind of thing. And basically, that's it.
Woo! Awesome!
I can only testify that all the miracles of my life can be answered with this.
I don't want testimony.
Oh, okay. Well, I just rattle off the big ones. The IRS forgave $80,000 in back taxes.
Man, you mentioned IRS on my stick.
Only because I beat the rap. If you're a nice guy, the IRS agent will put your file in a drawer, and 10 years later it evaporates.
That's
okay.
true.
Namaste.
And with that, he delivered a cogent piece of info for those listening and aren't there at the end about the IRS agent. Can be a mess sometimes. Joe, do you dare? Come on, Joe. Can you bring some sanity to this obviously cancer-living, very weird poetry reading? Become almost something that we can't even call that which it is. Anyone care for a nice cool Fanta there at the counter for $2? Come on, Joe. How you doing? Have you been here before?
I have.
I haven't seen you, have I?
Well, that's your problem.
I like Joe.
Let her rip. Oh, no, it's okay. Want to borrow mine? They're here. Yeah.
Yeah, grab them. Make everything you need to become.
16 is too small.
The pool player. Alone, slim in her jet hair. She plays pool on her birthday, 53. Her loose-skinned arms slowly stroke stripes in, one by one. Like a stalking cat, she moves her childless belly along the felt table. The slit skirt waves, the head rocks, the breasts sway to the bar music. With the rhythm of her round, rolling hips, she thrusts the darkness of her scent into the low smoke cloud, into this room of jeans and billboard t-shirts. The blue dust on her fingertips glows like an angel halo. I am her thrall. in a lust to find her wrinkled hands and bring them hot to me, steep and swim in her condensing breath, have her find my face close, fire-eyed. I wait for her head, edged in willow hair, to bend and fall, hissing, hushing, satin washing me in a mouthy soup. I reach and rise from a fulcrum, balancing in an air of humming, swarming midnight bulbs. In a musk of my erupted core she drives, chest-long down, down to the frenzy, and cradles there like a mother. Now wet turf turning on a plow, she moves her boldened body round. Her flesh in a quivered offering flies four-winged under me, stretched to the unwalled sky. My route over her ground is a drunken meander, a blind dog's hunt for the wild hare. My mind fills with the smell of marsh mud, and I fall into the warm mire that is yielding and drawing me in. There is a wisdom of stillness here that softly opens and teaches the gift of tongues. I speak it. She answers. A low and lonely note rises from her gorging throat, then breaks with the click of the 8-ball dropping.
Yeah. I fucking love it.
What the fuck has happened to Christians, eh? They used to be such nice guys. They used to lay down their lives, love their enemies, turn the other cheek and shit. Now what? Kick your ass, gun you down, kill the infidel, get your miserable welfare mother ass off my taxes? Time was when you would walk out of a bar and there'd be a little band of dark uniforms playing huge music and begging you to turn away from sin. Ah, Christians, you'd say, then puke into their hat and walk away. Now you're flicking through the channels on a quiet Sunday night and some tasteless tart with 6-foot Bakelite hair and barbed wire eyelashes is asking you to send $1,000. And while you're at it, pray for Islamic heads on platters. So what's up? Why have mutual funds replaced mutual love with the floppy foreskin Bible set? Why has a bunch of drunken Jesus Jews become a gang of cretins who think God was a Confederate general? Why is it when you hear someone say, I am a Christian, you start to worry about your credit cards and your car keys? I'll tell you why. Because there's no more persecution. That's why. We have to bring it back for all our sakes. When they're thinking about heaven and how they'll soon be going up, they're so much nicer guys than when they're thinking about your poor, pathetic sins. You know there's no way that these neo-pharisaical pricks can find their way to heaven on their own. They need a little push, a little nudge, a little kick, a little beneficial torture for their sins. And now let's not be namby-pamby, all you unbelievers. Let's take a stand tonight for sure. Let's have some hungry lions, have some gladiators, have some useful violence on Sunday night TV.
All right.
Very refreshing. Very refreshing. Oh, I like that. Mike, we got 3 more poets. We can all sit still, right? Oh, what? 7th inning stretch. Everyone up. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank God for the 7th inning stretch. Woo! Mother, like me some baseball. Oh, like me some bone. And everyone down. All right. Come on up, Mike. Is your first time?
Yep.
First time reading anyway?
Yep.
Ooh.
Double super bird.
What's up, I'm Mike. Here's the thing.
Go for it, Mike.
Giver wants to know. Giver just how deep his feet will grow. Giver has a need. Giver needs to feed. Feeder has a wish.
Feeder wants another dish. Feeder deepens his leash. Feeder became a leech. Leecher wants a treat. Leecher has to eat. Leecher about to bite. Leecher parasite. Parasite does not feel. Parasite just wants his meal. Parasite has to live. Parasite now will give. Giver, now he knows. Giver, how deep his seed grows. Giver, harvest end. Giver is no friend.
I don't know, I'm kind of scared by that. A lot of scary dude poems tonight. Scary dude poems 1. Good, nice women poems 1. We seem to be evening out here in the evening. Let's go, Candace. Which one will you be? Which one will you be? Which one will you be? I never know. The great thing about Carry On is I'm always shocked. I'm always carried off.
My first one's called A Letter from a Cult Fanatic. Now, before a burst of presumptions and propositions consume your thoughts abruptly, I'd like to state sooner than later that this is not a calling for some sort of Hawaiian Punch Bowl hysteria-hyped call for numbers. This is merely a philosophical exploration of personal fascinations with others stuck in the same satirical lifestyle. In the mornings, you find yourself in bed longer than you meant to be, telling yourself that you had nowhere to go anyway, but not in a sad sort of gesture, but a kind of funny, nihilistic sort of honest way. Hell, you could be dressed an hour before someone shows up at your door and they would be none the wiser as to your bedroom rituals. But that's a tedious detail and trivial to my point. The mention of the C word, cult, was to direct your attention to a collectively inspiring idea of an aspiration for all to acquire with the help of, say, weekly meetings and seminars. A cornucopia of conspiring colleagues bringing forth a feast of phenomenal ideologies worth dozens of moons and more. All are leader to their own legislations, and lions are we who unite in our pride. The point of this letter is to invite you to an extravagant event so enlightening that even your dog would become educated in light of the conversation. Hashtag this is not a cult. So my second one.
Look at that, you've been doing something.
I know. Can't sit at home all day too long. So my second one is untitled. Silly sometimes it seems that I try and find an escape from a privileged life, white, middle-class, educated with a deepened love of logical inquiry and Greek ethical engagements historically pressed and persistent in the minds of mankind today. I am grateful for what I know, but knowing has left me trapped and tested on me its newfound contributions into our current state of affairs. I avoid abstractions where I can afford to bury them, but in this case, sometimes even keeping the baby in the bathwater a little longer never proves harmful. My selfishness has a signature of betrayal and binds itself to my boredom as a child chiseling away at the ideology of an adult form. I simply do what I wish, and I wish to want to do something shameful with myself. Yes, transgression is tasteful to those who have it far too easy in life, and I fell victim to its charms on occasion, openly admitting that when I commit a crime, I can't help but smile and say, "You got me." But when wishing for ways to change myself, I must always ask, from what do you wish to change yourself from? If all is but a state of becoming, then why do we pride ourselves on knowing the beginning or the end? Scientists dance at discoveries of evolutionary theories, and preachers secure for themselves the end of days in song. What do we do for the sake of now if dancing and singing are all but readily available? Wishy-washy writings of mine and minced collections of poetic soap operas are all I have to offer for those seeking what salvation I have to offer in living itself, becoming itself, the ing of all things. Who are you and I today that you and I were not yesterday, and who tomorrow will never see? You and I are nothing but becoming, and all change is beautiful because it is the only consistency that we will ever see.
going back to what I was saying way back at the beginning, if anyone remembered what I was showing and the poetic voice is the one, unlike the religious voice, the insane voice, the jealous voice, the greedy voice, the lover's voice, the poetic voice will do that flashlight to you every time. And you cannot, if you are a believer in the poetic voice, deny it, because it will call you for what you are every time. It will get you down in that deepest part of who you are, and it'll say, why are you like that? And you'll say, I don't know, and it'll be okay, because the poetry voice is, of course, honest. And that's something.
Come on, Michael. Michael.
Hey, Michael.
What the poetic voices? I hope there's not a little redheaded kid back there, because I'm going to wallop him. Get out of there, Julius. Julius, are you taking the stage? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah. Oh, I know. Tough night to be Julius.
Maybe if I gather up one of each of their things and surround myself with their smells, I will be able to sleep. Maybe if I sneak into their bedrooms and climb into their beds, I will be able to spoon with them and sleep. Maybe if I take one of these toys and bug the holy crap out of them, they will try to take it away from me to no avail. Maybe if I take this giant head of mine and rest it in their lap, they will find a way to rub it for me. Maybe if I look deep into their eyes with a sideways glance, I will get their undivided attention. Maybe if I can just wear them all out, they will let me just sleep on my couch. And maybe, just maybe, if I do everything just the way, they will love me forever and ever. So says Wasco the dog. The blackest clouds Micah had ever seen rolled in from the northwest. Black? Why black? Every time he turned, there was black. Turned in his dreams, black. Turned to his lover, black. Turned to his friends, black. Turned to his heart, black. Micah knew this was problematic. He knew that darkness hounded him. He knew there was nowhere to hide. Blackness surrounded him, blocking out the light. Foreboding, cold, numbing, sucking out his soul. He ran through his thoughts as the colors were disappearing. Could he use this to his advantage? After all, he could use the black to vanish into. Yes, that's it. Like the octopus uses his black ink to escape, he could run from his enemies. All his enemies. Where did he go? He was just here. What's all this blackness? No. That was insane. After all, he didn't know of any enemies he actually had. Micah felt eyes on him. Eyes in the darkness. What are you of? I can't see what you are. Why is it that you would witness Micah in his despair? The voice was smooth, thick like black syrup, soothing, melodic, its tonality reaching into the depths of what soul he was fighting to keep. I am here for you. What will be mine? For what will be mine? I am Alpha and Omega. I am Yang. I am void. I am what is not light or color. Micah steadied his nerves. Micah's nerves had faced worse than this before. He answered, "Fuck you, Black." Fuck everything you said. What it is you came for is not yours. Whatever I have left now is mine. The blackness answered, "You are mistaken, Micah. It is mine, and I am here to retrieve it." Yes. Micah took a pause to think about what he might have the entity wanted. So he said, What? What is it that you have, that I have, that you seek? Yes, Micah, that's good. I see you are curious. But if I tell you, you must agree to give it to me. Micah once again paused, but just long enough to realize he had heard a form of that voice before. Yes, he did know that voice. Many times it had tried to take from him things that were precious. Micah laughed out loud and smiled inside, and rushed out into the blackness, his hands searching to grab and choke the voice out of the voice. Micah awoke. The sheet strangled in his hands. His lover stirring. A beautiful golden sun was cresting the ridge, the colors of his surroundings flooding his eyes, the light chasing away what was left of his only real enemy. So, Micah did have at least one enemy. Micah smiled outside and woke his lover.
I'm glad Micah figured that one out. Micah figured that one right out at the end, didn't he? Yep. It's strange how that happened. One more poet to go. And we got Android coming to the stage. And androidical. Someone whose book is coming out when?
I guess in a couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks. Karen's got a book coming out.
Yeah.
Where are you having your book coming out party?
At your house.
My house? What?
And everyone's invited to.
Ooh! Yeah, I've got the address, so you gotta see me to get the address. See how I did that? Yeah. Block! Now it's Go, girl.
Hey, Karen.
I'm going to talk about, you have a suggestion?
Overcoming.
Overcoming, okay. This is coming straight from outer space to you. And here it comes. I am a sexless goddess, climbing through cesspools of conscious depths to the heights of something I can barely see. The heights that you have stepped on inch by inch and have reached before I came to the realization that I must climb. Every day, like a puppy in the rain, I shake off the illusion that I am unloved. When in reality, I am perhaps the most loved person I know, with an exception that I don't always feel that love. I don't always belong to that love because I don't think that love belongs to me. But that puppy, that little puppy who goes from shelter to shelter in rainstorm after rainstorm, looking for that hug, that scratch behind the ear, that affirmation that might tell her that she belongs. That same, the sexless goddess who does stand amid the torrent showers of her life, drenched to bone, to skin, to the gowns of despair that she wears, her uniform of conformity, her illusion of differentness, her separateness, her unique way of speaking her mind, and yet her elusiveness to touch, to acceptance of herself, projected out to others randomly because of her fear that she is not so special or not so acceptable or not so approachable. She doesn't even know she's a she. She doesn't think she's a he because she doesn't have that appendage. But on the other hand, when she touches her body and realizes that the formations of flesh above her belly, below her waist, are biologically female, yet she doesn't think she's a woman because she does not know what a woman is, even at her age. And at that age that she is standing now in between the rocking chair and the rockers, well, she chooses to rock and roll, yes, to buy an electric bass to learn how to play it, to be a rock star, as a painter, as a sculptor, as an actress of a film that is almost finished, and that film goes on and on and on without the celluloid, and I suppose the celluloid collects in her fingers when she touches her hips. Not much hips, no booty, nothing really to exclaim femininity, hence the sexless goddess of words descending through time and space and trying to reach insurmountable figures, overcoming the illusion that she's so different than others. Her madness that she created as a childhood and schizophrenia, that madness that cost her years of her life, years of growing cages, surmounting them every day. And she's lessening her pills, those psychotropic pills that she takes every morning, every night. She's not taking them as much, and she is living with this, and she is living with that, and she is climbing through the cesspools, and the mud, and the mire, and the sausages of dead animals, and the creatures that die because of senseless murders, and all the things that she accumulates every day to try and make a point of her existence. And every day she eats her vegetables, her fruit, her tofu, or whatever, and she thinks about things that other people do, and she tries to compare herself, not so much by this, but by that. And still she overcomes the illusion of self, the illusion of me and you and everything in between. And every time she looks at herself in the mirror, she is shocked by the aging. But therefore, she does see the fact that she is human. And I wish she could see the fact that she was actually a woman, although that doesn't actually describe what she is.
That's pretty good.
Is that it? Okay.
And I think you'll agree that should be some party on October 4th at my house. That will be one hoedown to be remembered. I'd try and get an invitation to that party if I was there. That's right. All right, carry on. Come back. Love you all. Thank you.